my name is Christopher Lyon and this is my music research project, Outcome 2 and 3. I'm going to be looking at the subject of American punk rock. In part 1, we will be looking at the history of the genre, social features, cultural features, significant developments in the genre, and the contribution of significant exponents. In part 2, we are going to be looking at musical features, and I'm going to be performing some songs in the American punk genre that have some of these musical features. Part 1. History of the genre. The genre started in the 1960s garage rock scene. It was a means of drowning out the hippie movement, which was quite large in the 1960s, and it was rebelling against how bloated the rock and roll community had become and how commercialized it was. Punk music was all about truthful music to the people that listened to it. The movement was defined and helped by American punk rock bands like the Stooges and the New York Dolls. In the 1960s, some of the concerns of the time were the Vietnam War, which sadly claimed approximately 5,000 civilians, so that was people's motivation to rebel against the system. The Velvet Underground was also another punk rock band that came out of the 1960s garage rock scene, and them and the Stooges wrote songs like Search and Destroy, which was a song which had a very blatant reference to the Viet Cong. In the 1970s, punk movement broke out into the cities of New York and Los Angeles, so you had the East Coast and the West Coast. Ruling the East Coast was again the New York Dolls, which came from the 60s and are doing quite well in the 70s. However, on the West Coast, you had quite a healthy punk scene, which was spearheaded by a band called the Dickies. American punk in the 70s was fueled by poverty, gas prices, and the Vietnam War. In the 1980s, the genre became more prevalent in the American culture as it challenged mainstream norms, and it encouraged a rebellious spirit against social norms and the politics of the time. The decade was a turning point in American history, as it was marked by the political conservatism in the White House. It also witnessed a dramatic series of developments in the US foreign relations, such as the intensification of the Cold War with the Soviet Union. This was a huge turning point where anything could have happened. So there was a lot of fears in the nation. In the 1990s, punk needed to evolve as poverty was diminishing. However, it wasn't gone, but the American people needed something new and something less harsh on the ears. So punk changed into the new genre of pop punk, which produced more melodic bands that fitted the times, like Green Day. When it comes to musical features, some of the melodic features of this time were very simple, moving from a step either down or up. When it came to melodic lines, it wasn't anything fancy. There was no ornamentals or anything like that. When it comes to harmony, the chords were quite simple power chords, which were the root note, the fifth, and the octave. The normal harmonic chords that were used were the chords 1, 4, and 5. The rhythm of the American punk songs were very fast-paced, mainly using quavers and semi-quavers. They usually played in 4/4 time too. The lyrics were very hard-hitting, very emotional. Again, it wasn't very harmonic. They're usually about whatever the band felt was bothering them at the time. They were not limited to class, drugs, war, or love. The structure of these pieces were very simple, usually resorting to an A-B format. Social features. Drugs was a social feature of this genre, as America in the 1980s had a huge crack cocaine problem that was in epidemic proportions. It was popularized because of its general affordability and its euphoric effect. Also its high profitability. America had so much of a problem, in fact, that the American government tried to crack down on the public drug use. Another social factor was poverty. In the 60s, 70s and 80s, poverty was a huge factor in public life. You seen it around every street corner in America. And in the 90s and early 2000s, poverty was on the rise again. In the early 2000s, you had 9/11 and the 2008 financial housing crisis and stock market crash, which we're still feeling the effects to today. However, in the 1990s, the poverty rate was going down, and that coincided with the change from traditional American punk to pop punk. Another social factor was race and racial intolerance. In the 1950s and 60s, the civil rights movement was in full swing, with the assassinations of Malcolm X and Dr. Martin Luther King. Tensions were higher than ever. However, laws were passed and segregation was a thing of the past. However, in the South, you still had things like the KKK. They were still at large, and black people really were not safe in the southern states. As we got into the 70s, 80s and 90s, things got better. However, the racism was still a huge factor up until this day too. Cultural features. A cultural feature was the American dream. The American dream is the idea of an ideal America where houses are affordable. You get a house, you get a wife, 2 kids, and a pet. It's the dream that all Americans have. However, these days in the 90s and 2000s, that dream was out of reach for most people. The roots of the American dream lie in the goals and aspirations of the first European settlers and colonizers. Conservatism. In the 1980s, the conservative movement did some serious damage to the American economy. A new group of mainly American conservatives, the so-called neoconservatives, arose to argue that high levels of taxation and the government's intrusive regulation of private enterprise were hampering economic growth. The ideological side had to do with the conservatives' closed-mindedness. Thus, they favoured institutions, practices that have evolved gradually, and the manifestation of community and stability, which the punk movement wanted to move away from that idea, as it was an outdated idea that did not fit the times. Sexual orientation was a big cultural stumbling block too. In the 1960s, there was a deadly amount of hate towards same-sex marriages or even same-sex couples because of the long-held conservative ideology. Most Americans wanted to hate them, as they didn't really understand anything different because the conservative ideology had a massive grip on the American people. Digital recording was a significant development. Studios adopted digital audio workstations, or DAWs, transforming the production process. This not only helped people to record on the move with handheld recording units, but also changed the way that music was recorded in a studio setting. The internet was also a significant development in the 1990s. Kind of took off as a weird gimmick. However, in the late 90s, the internet really came into its true stride in the pop punk era of punk. It was a revolution because not only was there a declining need for CDs because of the internet's possibility to download songs, but you could promote your music using many social media platforms, which were on the rise through the 90s and the 2000s. Another significant development was the TV channel MTV. MTV was launched in America in 1981. It revolutionised how the youth consume music because it didn't just become music that they consumed, it was more music videos, which changed the whole way of consuming music. Another significant development was the evolution from punk to pop punk. In the early 90s, things were looking up. Cold War was declining and everything was really looking up, so the need for punk was diminished. CDs were another significant development, as in 1980 Sony and Philips came together to try and get a means of having portable music on a smaller scale and without it being any form of tape. So in 1982 they released the CD, or compact disc, to the public, and to make it a smaller and easier way to mass produce a physical copy of a song, and the punk movement snatched that up. Contributions of significant exponents. The band Green Day were a big exponent when it came to the early 90s onwards. The Green Day were a band from California who were originally called Sweet Children, and they were later known as Green Day. They were formed in 1987 and they had lower middle class roots. In the year 1994 they broke out with their album Dookie, where they got signed to the independent label Lookout Records. From there they got bigger and bigger. However, they did slightly decline in the later 90s with their records Insomniac and Warning. However, they brought it back with their 2004 album American Idiot, where they took a more political stance and spoke to the American people. The Ramones were also a significant exponent. They were an American punk band formed in the year 1974 in New York City, where in 1976 they recorded their debut self-titled album called Ramones. However, they saw no success off of this album. So in 1978 they recorded again, and they had their first global hit, which was their song Blitzkrieg Bop. The Ramones were loved, and they were an inspiration to upcoming punk bands because of their fast-paced style of playing and their unfiltered energy. Another significant exponent was the New York Dolls. The New York Dolls were an American band whose raw brand of glam rock revolutionized the New York City underground music scene in the 70s, foreshadowing punk rock by half a decade. The New York Dolls formed in 1971 beside the Stooges. They were the blueprint for the American punk rock band. Although they didn't achieve much success, they were huge influences for the bands to come. The first piece which I'm going to play for you is the piece Blitzkrieg Bop by the Ramones, and this covers the significant features of the structure, the AB structure, the hard-hitting lyrics, the 16th notes rhythm, and the steps either one up or one down in the melody. It also features the 1-4-5 chord progression. This piece is called My War by Black Flag. It features the AB structure format, features harsh lyrics depicting war and distrust. It also features a quaver or semi-quaver driven rhythm. It also features the melodic line going normally on the one note or going a step above or below and going up or down in steps. is Basket Case by Green Day. It has the 1-4-5 chord harmony. It also has the harsh and to the point lyrics, this time about bisexuality and confusion. And it also has semi-quavers and quaver note rhythms.
Do you have the time to listen to me whine about nothing and everything all at once? I am one of those melodramatic fools, neurotic to the bone, no doubt about it. Sometimes I give myself the creeps. Sometimes my mind plays tricks on me. It all keeps heading